The building had no boundary originally, and this old factory building has always been a target for vandalism for as long as I've lived here, and the only way to establish any sort of privacy was to install a boundary wall that it didn't originally have, and I felt it was too good an opportunity to miss, to use it as an exhibition space for an example of my work. So I produced a suite of musical railings and gates. They represent a composition because it's a linear musical instrument, and it's designed to be played from beginning to end in a straightforward left to right sequence, just like a conventional piece of notated music. And in fact, the notation is built into the railings in a way that spells out the chord you're about to play. Sounds like somebody coming to the door. The good thing about being employed externally was a regular income, and a regular social contact, of course, which is not to be underestimated. Having become self-employed since 1990, I don't feel I'd ever want to go back to those days. If your work is just something you have to get out of the way in order to pay the bills, then you're better off being employed by somebody else than just doing that and living your real life outside of work. But if you want to spend your life at least trying to achieve something that means something to yourself personally, instead of realizing somebody else's or helping to realize somebody else's ambitions, then you need to be self-employed. But you have to bear in mind that there's no guarantee of a living, and you're not likely to have very much spare time. Most self-employed people, I think, and I certainly come into that category, are having to work 12-hour days just to survive. And the only way you can live with that is if the final result you're achieving is something that you believe in and is satisfying in some way. The actual work is pretty tedious. I think it's quite comparable to writing. A lot of authors will say that it's great to have written a book. It's a dismal process actually writing it, and it's much the same with, I think, most creative processes. It's the starting point feels like pulling teeth. They're just beginning a project where it's all ahead and it looks like an absolute mountain of work, and you just don't know where to start, and it all feels quite demotivating. It takes quite a while to overcome that inertia. The fun bits are the initial idea and the imagination of how it's actually going to be in the end, and then seeing the thing actually finished, and if it's anywhere near where you had hoped it would be, those are the good bits, and the rest is all rubbish, really. Right, this is the pin barrel harp, or sharpsichord. It looks like a large-scale musical box, I suppose, and in principle it is, but the essential difference is that it's a recording device. You have an open matrix of holes in the cylinder which allows you to insert pins from the tray here, as and where you need them to create the piece of music you want to hear. So every pin passes under a lever with a little wheel on the end, which allows it to lift the lever. And as the lever is lifted, it operates a little mechanism which carries a plectrum which plucks the string and then silently bypass the string on the way back to reset itself for the next pluck. This has already been programmed with a Beatles number called She's Leaving Home.